She's getting more than just the local news with this new Milwaukee newspaper. That woman's also helping our community's homeless.
Yeah, it's a student publication with a twist, and Matt Dixon and Matt Renault are here from the Street Beacon to tell us all about the new publication. Welcome, both of you.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Okay, it is brand new, too. Only the second edition is out right now. Tell us a little bit about the Street Beacon. How's it different from a regular newspaper?
Sure. Well, the definition of a street newspaper is it's by community members, it's for community members. And one of the unique parts of a street newspaper, as defined by the North American Street Newspaper Association, and how we do it, is it's distributed by homeless vendors who also receive the majority of the profits that they get from vending. So we had some vendors who pretty much they sold the paper for $1, they got to keep 75 cents of it. And as a little incentive for this time around, we offered them kind of an hourly wage for the first 2 hours just to get some to come. And then we had some who took on to that and started buying some papers and selling.
Boy, that's a great idea. I've seen this in other cities, and it ends up really working and kind of changing their lives a bit.
Yeah. Our first vendor, I've had a chance to talk with him, and it sounds like he's really on like the right track. I think he liked the exposure he got to kind of the Marquette students and kind of being out in the world, being able to get on his own. So
now, you guys are Marquette students, but it's not a Marquette organization that's putting out the paper?
Well, how it works is we're an unfunded student group, so we have access. We can distribute the paper on campus, and we can rent rooms for, say, meetings or anything like that, but we get no funding from Marquette student government or Marquette's the university themselves.
So whose idea was this, and then how do you produce this local publication without any funding?
Yeah, well, actually, that was my idea. I went down to Washington, D.C., and as you mentioned, I saw a street newspaper there. And I really liked the idea where you got the street newspaper. It shows employment by the homeless. So I talked to Michael Stoops, who's the director of National Coalition of the Homeless, when I was in D.C. And, you know, I kind of got the idea eventually when I came back to Marquette. You know, I saw Marquette students kind of interacting with the homeless, and I kind of thought, hey, this would be a great way to increase kind of Marquette going in the community. And just, you know, benefit the homeless as well, and benefit the near West Side, which doesn't have a community newspaper.
And there's pride involved, too. I've watched those vendors. A lot of times, sadly, people who run into someone who lives on the street will look away. This causes an interaction and also financially good for them.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
So Matt, you're one of the reporters, right? And so you write a lot of the stories. What are you writing about, and what's exactly in the newspaper with content-wise?
Well, content-wise, we like to focus on issues. Milwaukee Central City focused on a lot of poverty issues, homeless issues. This last edition, I focused on predatory lending and payday loans were my major focus. And in the past, I wrote about community development block grants, which are federal dollars that come into the city. So it's really city-based. It's kind of an urban focus, and it's really a good opportunity for both us and the readers. The readers get good news, get to read about good news, and they also get to contribute to a good cause, really.
And where are they available? Because for those out in the community, where can you find the newspaper?
Yeah, you can find it in the near West Side, which pretty much goes all the way west from downtown to 27th Street, approximately, and north, maybe North Avenue from Marquette University.
Do you look for the vendors like these guys, or do you go into stores?
At this point, we already did our vending, so now it's going to be available for free. You can pick it up. We are asking people to go to our website. You can take a look at it there. We'll be posting dynamic content throughout the kind of summer.
And that website is streetbeacon.com. Well, I'm curious as to what the reaction's been so far.
Well, people really loved our paper so far. I have not received any negative comments. Journalism department has really supported us too. I know when I originally started this idea, they actually gave me a scholarship for kind of my initiative in doing this.
And Matt, these are not fluff articles. I like what you're writing about.
No, I think it's real important because a lot of the stories we cover aren't necessarily covered in some of the other media. So I think it's important, and it's a good connection. A lot of Marquette students are from out of state, and they kind of live in the campus bubble and might not know what's going on around them. And I think this is at least a good way to poke a hole in that bubble and let them know that there's a city around campus and there's a lot of important stuff going on.
For people at home who are watching and listening to this conversation, can they get involved too?
Yes, we're encouraging people to go to our website, get involved. You can basically post articles online there, and when we get to printing another edition, we're hoping to kind of print, their comments too.
So people can actually get involved and kind of volunteer to be reporters and report on an issue, write, maybe a few pages, get onto your website and submit them?
Yeah, you can do that. Submit letters to the editor, you know, or if you just want to help us with distribution, there are many ways to help. You know, just send us an email and we'll find a way to fit you in based on your skill. But I just want to mention this isn't an award-winning publication. We did get awards from the Society of Professional Journalists. You know, we are producing good content. I think if you produce good content, you know, people will want to get involved. So.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed
I
too.
really am. All I did was play pool in college. These guys, I'm impressed. Way to go.
Well, there's
Thank you.
time for pool as well.
Okay, well, go ahead.
They're doing some important work, and again, you can email the Street Beacon at msbstaff@yahoo.com, or just go to streetbeacon.com and look for your next edition of Street Beacon on the west side, right?
Okay.
Thanks, Matt and Matt.
Remember.